Welcome to the walk-around of the Fendt Vario 900 Gen 7 and the Fendt 1000 Vario Gen 3. My name is Christoph Beer and I will present today the 900 Vario. It covers a horsepower range from 296 horsepower up to 415. And it has 5 models starting from the 930 up to the 942.
And I'm Peter Settele and I like to present you the 1000 Vario tractor range. The range consists of 4 models, starting with the 1038 with 396, up to the 1050 with 517 horsepower. Let's start with the positioning of these two tractors. The graph shows the operating weight and the horsepower range of these two tractor ranges. The 1000 Vario begins where the 900 ends. Why is there an overlap? Fendt offered the customer a choice of 2 tractors in the 400 horsepower range. But not the horsepowers are decisive, it's the vehicle concept.
We have here a versatile high horsepower tractor. It is a compact and lightweight machine with a high payload and a flexible ballast system. Of course, we have a flexible system in the front, so we have different front power lifts, for example with load relief control. And together with the front PTO, we have here the tractor for big mower combinations. Of course, there's also a reverse drive station available and we can drive up to 60 kilometers per hour. So the 900 series is a universal high horsepower tractor and it can work in the field with tillage and on the road and transport applications, and of course also in special applications.
Let's take a look at the vehicle concept of the 1000 Vario. We are here in the power range from 400 up to more than 500 horsepower, and in the weight range from 14, and when we look at the maximum permittable weight, up to 23 tons. Highest flexibility because we use also here a standard tractor concept with a flexible operating weight. We have a modular design, so this tractor is, for example, available also without a rear linkage and without a rear PTO. Numerous features guarantees optimum and perfect power transfer, above all for sure the VarioDrive transmission. We have here an excellent driving comfort and safety at a maximum high speed of up to 60 km per hour. And this characterizes the 1000 Vario. Where is the home of the 1000 Vario? Optimum ballasting, flexible tire combinations with adapted tire pressure, predestinate for heavy soil cultivation. A reverse drive is available, for example for wood chippers or forestry mulchers. An all-rounder with a clear focus on heavy soil cultivation and implements that requires maximum power.
Since there is a variety of different application and requirements, we offer our machines in 4 different equipment variants, starting from the Power up to the Profi Plus, so that we have the perfect machine for every customer and every need. The Power is our entry variant with a high level of basic equipment. So we have, for example, the hydraulic pump with 165 liters per minute and up to 4 double-acting spool valves. The Power Plus version is then also available in the 1000 series. At Fendt, the Plus means guidance. So we have here our Fendt guide system and a wide range of additional functions like section control. The Profi version offers the full range of hydraulic equipment. That means the hydraulic double pump with 430 liters per minute and up to 8 double-acting spool valves. The variant Profi Plus is our highest equipment level and that leaves nothing to be desired. But let's get into the details of the machine. Let's start with the engine. The 900 series is driven by a MAN engine with 9 liters displacement and emission stage 5. It has a maximum torque of 1970 Newton meter. The turbocharger has a variable geometry and the whole engine system works with the low engine speed concept Fendt ID. And that has a very high power reserve and a low engine noise level. The cooling package in the 900 series is conventional. That means the radiators are in the front, and after that there is the sucking fan. The fan is electronically controlled. That means each radiator can control the fan separately, which has a high efficiency and a low noise level. Fendt typical is the easy cleaning of the cooling package due to the very good access and the even floor. Peter, how does it look like in the 1000 series?
In the 1000 series we use as well a MAN engine with 6-cylinder, 4-valve technology, 12.4 liter displacement and a torque up to 2400 Newton meter. The engine body is very narrow at the bottom. This gives us excellent maneuverability, and also the fuel tank had a really special shape. The front wheels has therefore enough place to turn in even when we use duals. Let's take a closer look at the low engine speed concept using the 1000 Vario as an example. The graphic shows at the top the power curve, in the middle the torque and the fuel consumption at the bottom. The speed range from the engine is only from 650 up to 1700 RPM. Fendt ID means at the same time maximum engine power plus maximum torque at almost minimum fuel consumption, and that at only 1450 RPMs, as the red line in the diagram shows. In transport, low speed concept means 40 at 950 RPM, 50 at 1200 and 60 at only 1450 engine RPMs. What does low engine speed concept mean for PTO work? You get maximum PTO power plus increasing torque in a speed range where normally an economy PTO lies at just 1600 RPM. Even at full power, the tractor is almost driven with an economy PTO. The 1000E PTO is at 1250 RPM and it's perfect for implements that require low engine power. And now let's take a closer look underneath the bonnet. The concentric air system immediately catches the eye. We have here an hydraulically driven fan that presses the air through the radiators located in front of the cooling package. Due to this architecture, we get an efficiency increase of up to 50%, especially through the very small gap. With a conventional system, the radiator surface would be much bigger, causing less maneuverability and poorer visibility to the front. The whole cooling package is designed for outside temperatures above 40 degrees. There is another speciality. The fan is angled, and therefore the cold air is sucked from above. And this is the permanent dust extraction from the air filter. For working in extremely dusty conditions, this tractor is equipped with a self-cleaning air filter. Let's have a closer look at the details. The air tank with 2 pipes to the air filter case, the control valve and 2 pulse valves that blows air from inside through the air filter to remove the dust from the filter surface. The dust is then sucked off in front by the vacuum of the fan. This reduces the time for filter maintenance significantly. The control is done in the terminal. Christoph, is that also available on the 900?
Yes, for sure, Peter. Also, the 900 series has the self-cleaning air filter. But because of the smaller size, we only have one pipe. In the drivetrain, after the engine follows the transmission. So let's have a closer look. Both tractor series, 900 and 1000 series, have the VarioDrive transmission. This is the revolutionary further development of the proven Fendt Vario transmission. We have the maximum tractive power and we do not need any speed range selection. The speed range goes from 20 meters per hour up to 60 kilometers per hour at reduced engine speed. We have a hydraulic pump which drives two hydraulic motors independently, one for the front axle and one for the rear axle. So we have an automatic power distribution, especially in combination with our automatic four-wheel drive clutch. The pull-in turn effect is mentioned at the headland, for example. Because of the independent drive of the front axle, it goes faster and it pulls the tractor actively while cornering. The maintenance intervals are 2000 hours in the VarioDrive transmission as well, because to the separate oil reservoir for the transmission and for the hydraulic system. So the transmission is protected against any dirt ingress. So we have a very strong engine and we have a perfect transmission. But in the end, the important thing is to transfer the power to the ground. Peter, which technology supports us here?
I like to point out four things: the front axle suspension, the tire pressure control system VarioGrip, large tire dimensions, and a sophisticated ballasting concept. The front axle suspension prevents power hopping and creates brilliant driving comfort. The complete suspension travel can be passed through while stationary. For example, for the pickup of the comfort ballasting. For easy mount and dismounting, the operating buttons are integrated in the front plate. With Fendt, the front axle suspension is completely maintenance-free. The tire pressure control system VarioGrip is fully integrated in the vehicle and operated from the terminal. We use here a two-line system. You see the small line is controlling the valve, open and close the valve, and the big line is inflating and deflating the tire. The advantage is the system is only under pressure when the air is changed. When this is fulfilled, then the system is totally pressure-free, and this guarantees a long lifetime. We have large tire dimensions on the 1000 Vario up to 2.35 meters. Hey Christoph, how is the situation on the 900?
Peter, here we have huge 2.2 meters.
We have a sophisticated ballasting system. The idea behind is a lightweight basic vehicle that can be suitably ballasted with front weights and rear wheel weights if required. We also have a modular system in the field of hydraulics. From the 165-liter single pump up to a double pump system with 430 liters per minute. In the dual pump system, the first hydraulic pump supplies the left hydraulic block as well as the front and the rear linkage. The second pump supplies the right-hand side hydraulic block and the power beyond connection. So the implements can be connected especially to their oil requirements. One example, one connection with a low oil demand and a high pressure, and the second connection with a high demand of oil and a low pressure. Each pump supplies only the oil required with a corresponding pressure. This means that there are no throttle losses in the system and the system works highly efficient. Due to the separate oil tank, bio-oil can be used in the hydraulic system without any problems.
The lifting capacity of the rear linkage is 12,410 on the 900 series.
And the massive 12,920 decanewton on the 1000 Vario, sufficient for all types of implements. The lower links are also available with Cat4 hook ends. In the rear we have various hitch systems like hitch, piton fix, or on this tractor a Cat4 drawbar.
Or as we can see here, a ball coupling hitch type K80. As option in the 900 series, there are the hydraulic link stabilizers available, which lock the lower links at a certain adjustable position. Now we have seen enough around the tractor. Let's have a look inside. I'm sitting here in the 900 series, but the cab of the 1000 series looks exactly the same. First of all, we mentioned the large cabin with a lot of space inside here, which is very comfortable. We have different infotainment packages, for example, with a subwoofer as well. The hands-free speaking system has 8 microphones in the roof for a perfect sound quality. The passenger seat is very comfortable and can be also used as a table. The 300-degree windscreen wiper offers a perfect overview outside in the front. And on the right hand side there is a wiper as well. For a perfect driving comfort, the cab is pneumatic suspended. That means in the 900 series we have a 3-way suspension, and in the 1000 series there is a 4-way suspension. This all ensures a pleasant working environment and a high comfort as well on long working days. In the 900 and in the 1000 series there is the operating philosophy Fendt 1 as well. We start as well in the Power version and it goes up to the Profi Plus version. But what advantages does Fendt 1 offer? First of all, we have more display area. We start with the 10-inch digital dashboard and a 12-inch terminal on the armrest. And as option, there is the 12-inch terminal in the roof. We have more operating options. On the drive lever, there are freely assignable buttons and there are different crossgate levers. For example, the 3L joystick and some more white buttons which are freely assignable. Of course, they are all customizable. For example, the buttons and some functions on the drive lever and also the terminal. This can be saved for drivers and also for different implements. The operation is very simple. All operating elements are in one place. They have a color coding. Orange means engine and transmission, blue is hydraulics, yellow PTO, and white are special functions or freely assignable. And of course, Fendt 1 is future-proof because of a large storage capacity and a high connectivity, for example, to Fendt 1 offboard. But let's have a closer look to the controls on the armrest. Let's start with the drive lever. The drive lever has the Fendt typical functions, for example, to select the driving direction and in driving direction acceleration and against it a deceleration. To put it on the left hand side we change the driving direction and on the right hand side we activate the cruise control. In the back there is the activation button and the selection of the acceleration ramp 1 to 4. On the thumb there is a small wheel. With this wheel we can adjust a pre-selected or an activated cruise control directly. The pre-selection of the cruise control is next to it with button 1 and 2. And underneath that we have the engine speed memory 1 and 2. Next to it there is the selection of the driving mode and one white button. In this case it's for the activation of the steering system. On the top of the drive lever there are 4 buttons for the activation of the headlamp management teach-in and 2 linear modules for a proportional control of 2 hydraulic valves. In this case on the right hand side the green one and on the left hand side the red one. There are as well 4 white buttons and one of them with the activation of the steering system. Next to the drive lever there are the different crossgate levers. In this case the 3L joystick with a basic crossgate lever and the thumb joystick. The color coding is as well shown here in the top and in the back. And there is also 1 white button. In the back of the 3L joystick there is the switch for the different layers. 4 linear modules down here, they are for controlling 4 more hydraulic valves, and each linear module has also 1 display to show the color and also 1 button to lock it. For example, very useful with the top link. These buttons here are the activation of the diff lock, and there are 7 more freely assignable white buttons, some of them already pre-selected from factory. The 4 blue buttons here are for the linkages, 2 for the front linkage and 2 for the rear linkage. It selects the floating mode or the position mode. For each linkage there is 1 linear module to control the linkage proportional and 1 wheel for the depth control. This is the maximum equipment what we have here on the armrest. But of course there are different customers with different requirements. Therefore we have the equipment variants Power to Profi Plus. And for each equipment variant there are 2 settings available, which mainly differ in the different operating elements of the hydraulics. On the armrest there is as well the control unit for the air condition, the infotainment and the push dial to control the terminals. The terminal has a header and a footer which is interactive. That means by pushing on 1 function it jumps directly into the settings. The main screen has up to 6 tiles which can be assigned completely individually. For example, in this case the map has 4 tiles. For changing now a value, for example the cruise control, by pushing this value it opens it in full screen. If we now want to reallocate a function on the drive lever, we can go through the launchpad into the individual operation manager, and each function can be then here freely assigned, for example on the drive lever. All Fendt 1 machines from the 200 series up to the 1000 series, they work completely identically. This makes it very easy for big farms with a lot of drivers and different tractor series. But of course, different tractor series have special functions. For example, the 900 and 1000 series, they have the grip assistant and the tire pressure inflation system VarioGrip. This was a brief overview of Fendt 1 in the 900 and 1000 series. For detailed information about the operation of Fendt 1, there are a lot of videos and further material available.
900 and 1000 Vario are not only very beautiful, they are also extremely efficient machines. On fuel consumption, they rank 1 to 4 in the current Power Mix Test 2.0, making them the best of the market at the moment. But to feel and experience this, you have to drive these machines by yourself.